ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਮਾਰਕੋ ਮੈਡੀਸਨੋ ਦਾ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਪੂਰੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਵੈਕਸੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਵਾ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨਸ ਨੂੰ ਜਲਦ ਹੀ ਇੱਕ ਸਰਕਾਰੀ ਦਸਤਾਵੇਜ਼ ਮਿਲੇਗਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਕਰਵਾਈ ਜਾ ਚੁੱਕੀ ਕੋਵਿਡ-19 ਵੈਕਸੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਪੁਸ਼ਟੀ ਕਰੇਗਾ ਜਿਸ ਨਾਲ ਕੌਮਾਂਤਰੀ ਟਰੈਵਲ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਦਿੱਕਤ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਵੇਗੀ।
While the pandemic is far from over, it's clear that we have entered a new phase of our fight against COVID-19. And that's because of one powerful tool: vaccines. Thanks to the incredible progress that Canadians have made, our country is reopening gradually, cautiously, and guided by public health. This means that many Canadians are contemplating doing something that they haven't done in a long while, and that's travel. Every day, more and more Canadians are getting vaccinated. Over 8 out of every 10 Canadians have their first dose, and more than 70% of our population is fully vaccinated. With the diverse and plentiful supply of vaccines and the cooperation of Canadians, we now have the best vaccination rate in the G20. I want to take a moment to thank all Canadians who've rolled up their sleeves over these past months. As more and more are getting vaccinated and are planning for life in a post-vaccinated world, including a safe return to travel. Canada and indeed other countries around the world are beginning to expect a vaccine credential as relates to international travel. To make sure Canadians have access, standardized, accessible, and reliable vaccine credential program. The government is collaborating with provinces, territories, and Indigenous communities right across the country to address the matter of vaccine credentials. I'm pleased to inform Canadians that we are working actively with the provinces and territories on a secure pan-Canadian proof of vaccination for international travel. These credentials will have a common design across all provinces.
ਚੀਨ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਹਿਰਾਸਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਏ ਗਏ ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨ ਮਾਈਕਲ ਸਪੈਵਰ ਨੂੰ ਚੀਨੀ ਅਦਾਲਤ ਨੇ 11 ਸਾਲ ਕੈਦ ਦੀ ਸਜ਼ਾ ਸੁਣਾਈ। ਕੈਨੇਡੀਅਨ ਵਿਦੇਸ਼ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਮਾਰਕ ਗਾਰਨੀਓ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਇਹ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਇੱਕ ਕਾਨੂੰਨੀ ਪ੍ਰਕਿਰਿਆ ਦੇ ਬਾਅਦ ਲਿਆ ਗਿਆ। ਇਹ ਮੁਕੱਦਮਾ ਅੰਤਰਰਾਸ਼ਟਰੀ ਕਾਨੂੰਨ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਲੋੜੀਂਦੇ ਘੱਟੋ-ਘੱਟ ਮਾਪਦੰਡਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੂਰਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਤੁਰੰਤ ਸਪੈਵਰ ਦੀ ਰਿਹਾਈ ਦੀ ਮੰਗ ਕੀਤੀ।
Canada condemns in the strongest possible terms Mr. Spavor's unjust conviction after more than 2.5 years of arbitrary detention. My thoughts and the thoughts of all Canadians are with Mr. Spavor and his family during this extremely difficult time. This decision was made after a process that lacked both fairness and transparency, including a trial that did not satisfy the minimum standards required by international law. Canada has notified the nations who endorsed the declaration against arbitrary detention and state-to-state relations of this development in Mr. Spavor's case. This decision in no way diminishes our resolve to secure the immediate release of Michael Spavor and Michael Kovrig, who are arbitrarily detained. This has gone on too long. Canada is moved by the demonstration of solidarity from our international partners. Many couldn't attend the verdict, but representatives from over 25 countries stood shoulder to shoulder with their Canadian colleagues at our embassy in Beijing yesterday. I have also personally been in touch with close allies over the past few days on this matter. I also want to speak about the verdict delivered Monday in the case against Robert Schellenberg. A verdict that deeply troubles me as it is an example of arbitrary sentencing in China. Canada strongly condemns China's decision to uphold the death penalty sentence against Mr. Schellenberg. The lack of transparency in the legal process and the inconsistent consular access are alarming. The timing and the swift manner in which a retrial was ordered, as well as a much harsher sentence delivered, speaks clearly to the arbitrary nature of the death penalty issued in this case. We will continue to engage with Chinese officials at the highest levels to grant clemency to Mr. Schellenberg.
ਬ੍ਰਿਟਿਸ਼ ਕੋਲੰਬੀਆ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਿਨਾਸ਼ਕਾਰੀ ਜੰਗਲੀ ਅੱਗ ਨਾਲ ਨਜਿੱਠਣ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਦਦ ਲਈ ਦਰਜਨਾਂ ਫਾਇਰ ਫਾਈਟਰਸ ਅਤੇ ਐਮਰਜੈਂਸੀ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਲੰਟੀਅਰ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੇਵਾਵਾਂ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਹਨ। ਹਜ਼ਾਰਾਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਖੇਤਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਫੈਲੀ ਲਗਭਗ 300 ਜੰਗਲੀ ਅੱਗ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਸੁਰੱਖਿਅਤ ਬਾਹਰ ਕੱਢਿਆ ਗਿਆ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਅੱਗ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰਭਾਵ ਫਾਇਰ ਫਾਈਟਰਸ ਉੱਤੇ ਵੀ ਪੈ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ, ਇਸ ਲਈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੁਰੱਖਿਆ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਫੈਡਰਲ ਵਾਤਾਵਰਣ ਮੰਤਰਾਲੇ ਨੇ ਵੱਡੀ ਯੋਜਨਾ ਉਲੀਕੀ ਹੈ।
The plan includes assessing and restricting or banning several harmful flame retardants that have been found to pose risks to human health or to the environment. We are also working on the development and use of safe flame retardants, including less harmful alternatives to chemical flame retardants in household products. To date, the Government of Canada has assessed over 150 flame retardants, and through this process, evidence has shown that 12 of these substances pose a risk to human health or to the environment. Additionally, they do not break down easily in the environment and can move up the food chain in increasing quantities from smaller species like fish all the way to human beings. It is clear that stronger action is needed to protect Canadians and the environment from these substances, and that is why we are prohibiting the manufacture, import, use and sale of these flame retardants. This is the right thing for the health and safety of Canadians, our environment and our communities. We are also proposing to act on 6 additional flame retardants and are presently considering how best to restrict or to prohibit these substances. And beyond flame retardants that have already been assessed as causing or likely to cause harm to human health, we are also presently assessing a further 14 flame retardants to determine whether they are likely to pose health or environmental harms. In addition to the work that's underway to assess and ban certain flame retardants, we are conducting additional research and monitoring to assess firefighters' levels of exposure to harmful chemicals. This includes critical work on skin contact, which is likely an important source of exposure to cancer-causing substances in smoke. This work will further inform strategies to better protect firefighters and help reduce their exposure to these chemicals, including new research into personal protective equipment to reduce skin contact and smoke penetration. Thirdly, as part of our efforts to strengthen the Canadian Environmental Protection Act, or CEPA as it is commonly known, our government will take action to improve information for supply chain managers and to require mandatory labeling for certain consumer products.
ਵਿਰੋਧੀ ਧਿਰ ਦੇ ਲੀਡਰ ਐਰੀਨ ਓਟੂਲ ਨੇ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਵੀਨੀਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਨੀਤੀ ਨੂੰ ਉਤਸ਼ਾਹਿਤ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਆਪਣੀ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਦੀ ਯੋਜਨਾ ਉਜਾਗਰ ਕੀਤੀ। ਇਸ ਯੋਜਨਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਟੈਕਨੋਲੋਜੀ ਅਤੇ ਇਨਕਮ ਟੈਕਸ ਦੀ ਦਰ ਨੂੰ ਅੱਧਾ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਵਾਅਦਾ ਵੀ ਸ਼ਾਮਿਲ ਹੈ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਕੰਜ਼ਰਵੇਟਿਵ ਦੀ ਇਸ ਨਵੀਂ ਨੀਤੀ ਕਰਕੇ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਵੀਨੀਕਰਨ ਨੂੰ ਉਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਮਿਲੇਗਾ।
Canadians have saved lives around the world with innovations like the pacemaker, and we've soared into space with the Canadarm. A century ago this year, Canadian science innovation gave the world insulin, and that culture of innovation remains with pioneering work on stem cells and cancer sharpshooter drugs. We are a nation of innovation. Our workforce is one of the most talented and renowned in the world, including the outstanding students, educators, researchers, and an ecosystem of startups and mature technology players here in Kitchener-Waterloo. The KW region did not need Ottawa to declare it a supercluster. The innovation sprung out of this unique mix of risk-taking, invention, commercialization, and pioneering co-op education. Canada has all the great advantages that should make it the best place on earth to launch an innovative product and grow an innovative business. But far too often, Canada loses some of our best and brightest to places with fewer barriers and more opportunity. Instead of scaling their businesses in Canada and creating jobs here at home, too many promising startups move to the US or sell to foreign investors with deep pockets who can fund their growth. Canada's Conservatives have a plan to strengthen Canada's position as a world leader in technology and end the innovation and brain drain. Canada's recovery plan will clear barriers away, unleash innovation, and create jobs by working with innovators in the private sector to drive innovation. We will incentivize Canadian companies to develop their products here by cutting the income tax rate in half for new patented technologies developed here in Canada.
ਓਨਟਾਰੀਓ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਵੈਕਸੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਮੁਕੰਮਲ ਕਰਵਾ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਵਿਦਿਆਰਥੀਆਂ ਅਤੇ ਸਟਾਫ ਲਈ ਆਈਸੋਲੇਸ਼ਨ ਸੰਬੰਧੀ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਨਿਯਮ ਕਾਇਮ ਕੀਤੇ ਜਾਣ ਦੀ ਪੁਸ਼ਟੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਗਈ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਇਹ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਵੀ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਗਈ ਕਿ ਇਸ ਸਾਲ ਦੇ ਅੰਤ ਤੱਕ ਕੋਵਿਡ-19 ਆਊਟਬ੍ਰੇਕਸ ਹੋਣ ਦੀ ਸੂਰਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੀ ਹੋਵੇਗਾ। ਇਸੇ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੀ ਵਾਇਰਸ ਦੇ ਸੰਪਰਕ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਵਿਦਿਆਰਥੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਰਹਿਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਉਸਦੇ ਘਰਦਿਆਂ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਵੈਕਸੀਨੇਸ਼ਨ ਮੁਕੰਮਲ ਕਰਵਾਈ ਹੋਵੇਗੀ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਸੈਲਫ ਆਈਸੋਲੇਟ ਹੋਣ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ।
Population that's unvaccinated and therefore unprotected. With the introduction of the Delta variant, I would have thought or appreciated that we would have taken more precautions and erred on the side of being more cautious by actually having bubbles and having masks at least at the start of the school year and then seeing where we go from there rather than the other way around. A lot of things, and I can understand Minister Roberge and his public health advisors giving him advice, but I'm not sure the word would be prudent. I mean, if you look at what's being recommended, it's, masks in the hallways, masks on the school buses, but when you're in a poorly ventilated area with a large number of students with you, no masks. So I'm not sure that I would use this prudence. I would have appreciated if there were masks and bubbles, again, starting at the school year. Supposed to be a measure of how often the air is, recirculated into a room. Of course, knowing that the more that that the air is ventilated, the cleaner, if you will, it is for the people who are in the room. It's a little bit disappointing that the implementation of that plan hasn't started. It would have been ideal to have done it at the end of the last school year and during the summer rather than at the start of the school year in the absence of masks and bubbles. Now we also have an absence of air monitoring system, and we also don't have any improvement in the ventilation. So it's almost as if the government has continued their measures from the last school cycle, but in fact have loosened it as well. So they have not improved it. They have just continued it with more loosened measures, and it's a bit perplexing. And I certainly hope it doesn't lead to any problems in the fall. I think there's a difference between what the government is mandating and what people are allowed to do. The government is not mandating bubbles and is not mandating masks. However, students, parents, schools, teachers, they have, of course, the capacity for intellectual thought, and they can make those decisions as well.
ਸਵੇਰੇ ਟਰਾਂਸ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਹਾਈਵੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਸੈਮੀ 2 ਵੈਨਸ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਕਾਰ ਦੇ ਆਪਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਟਕਰਾ ਜਾਣ ਕਾਰਨ 2 ਵਿਅਕਤੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਮੌਤ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਹੈ ਤੇ 3 ਹੋਰ ਜ਼ਖਮੀ ਹੋ ਗਏ। ਇਸ ਜ਼ਬਰਦਸਤ ਹਾਦਸੇ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਕਾਫੀ ਸਮੇਂ ਲਈ ਹਾਈਵੇ ਦਾ ਇੱਕ ਵੱਡਾ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਅਧਿਕਾਰੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਬੰਦ ਕਰਨਾ ਪਿਆ। ਇਹ ਹਾਦਸਾ ਸਵੇਰੇ 11:30 ਵਜੇ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਾਪਰਿਆ। RCMP ਵੱਲੋਂ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਗਈ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਅਨੁਸਾਰ ਹਾਦਸਾ ਉਸ ਸਮੇਂ ਹੋਇਆ ਜਦੋਂ ਪੂਰਬ ਵੱਲ ਜਾ ਰਹੀ ਇੱਕ ਵੈਨ ਫਰੀਵੇ ਨੂੰ ਪਾਰ ਕਰਦੀ ਹੋਈ ਪੱਛਮ ਵਾਲੀਆਂ ਲੇਨਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਦਾਖਲ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਤੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਕਾਰ ਨਾਲ ਜਾ ਟਕਰਾਈ। ਉਸੇ ਵੇਲੇ ਕਾਰ ਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੈਮੀ ਰੁਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਾਇਆ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਪਿੱਛੋਂ ਆ ਕੇ ਕਾਰ ਨਾਲ ਟਕਰਾ ਗਿਆ। ਫਿਰ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਵੈਨ ਸੈਮੀ ਨਾਲ ਜਾ ਟਕਰਾਈ। 2 ਵਿਅਕਤੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਮੌਕੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਹੀ ਮੌਤ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਤੇ EMS ਅਧਿਕਾਰੀਆਂ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਗਈ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਅਨੁਸਾਰ 3 ਵਿਅਕਤੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਹਸਪਤਾਲ ਲੈ ਜਾਇਆ ਗਿਆ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਹਾਲਤ ਗੰਭੀਰ ਪਰ ਸਥਿਰ ਦੱਸੀ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਹੈ।